Good morning, everyone. Russell Wright, Network Empire. I'm so glad to see all of you on this call this morning. We have been working pretty much nonstop around the clock on these courses and software combined. I've known Sue for many, many years. Haven't seen her this saturated and excited all at the same time with all the evil plans that we have going on. So I'm very excited. You're looking at her desktop right now. And she is with us, and we're getting some caffeine into her bloodstream. Caffeine must be in her bloodstream pretty much all the time. And Sue, thanks so much for being here. We've talked a little bit about what we're going to be going over today, but before I do, let's just do the regular sound check. Can I get a 1 from everybody if you can hear us? Just give me that 1 so I know what's going on. Okay. All right. Now give me a 1 if you can't hear us. I'm sorry, I got to stop that. I don't know why I think that joke is so funny. I always use it. I see Mike Hayden in here. Hey, Mike, it's good to see you. You might have to call on your expertise. Let's see. Not sure if Matt's going to make it today. He's supposed to make it.
I'm here, guys.
Oh, hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt.
Good. Good to see you. And, well, yeah, Matt's going to be here too as well. Looks like we have Kurt is here. It's good to see Kurt. Kurt inspired me to create really get into explaining better RSS this week. That's been kind of a fun part. Welton is here. Certified advisor Kevin McCarthy is also here. And Brian Hassler is here. Excellent. So we still have people coming into the room. So, Sue, let's get into a little bit like what we're going to cover today. You mentioned you're going to get into theme mirroring, which is one of my favorite terms, between the WR1, WR2 rings. What else are we going to cover today on week 3?
We're going to, since this is an actual boot camp where we roll up our sleeves and get our hands dirty, we're going to get into actually putting the project into DWS and show you some of this, why we built some of the things we did in DWS all those years ago that we're finally able to actually like get granular enough to teach these days. And and then we're going to go to TLKT and we're going to find some keywords and populate out the blueprint so that you can see what's going on. And mostly right now we're using DWS just as a placeholder to keep our sanity. But in a minute, my minutes are longer than most people's minutes, the new version of Kraken will be able to accept a blueprint, and so then everything will make even more sense.
Okay, I got it. That's. Does anybody else have any question? Any questions about what we're going to be covering today that you want to chime in here with? If you do have any questions along the way, I'm going to be tracking this for Matt and Sue. Going to be, if you have a question, I'll type in the question or intercept it so it doesn't get buried. And we have a lot of questions that come down the screen during this event. So, all right, well, I'm just ready to get started. Hopefully everybody has more caffeine in their blood than Sue and I do. I don't know, Matt, have you had your cup of coffee this morning?
I've had about 2 pots.
Okay, great. I know that, boy, it was just a really big day yesterday, and I really love how much stuff is going on. But definitely got to keep a full supply of coffee, and
definitely.
I try to make smoothies, so I'm not only living on caffeine. Try to throw in some wheatgrass and other things in there, and of course sandwich. All right, you guys.
Men can live on coffee. At least women can.
Yeah. Actually, Stu makes a mean cup of coffee too. So, okay, here we go.
All right. So in the ring system, let's get a ring system here for a nanosecond. I'm starting to wake up, honest. So down here. This is not actually the page I was thinking of. All right, so down here where you've got your WR1 site, we're going to pry each silo apart and make it a WR2 site. So that is what we're showing over here. We're taking this one silo and we're going to use it as the structure to create one of the WRT sites. So I kept it small to keep it simple. But if you've got a whole bunch of silos under here, then you're probably going to want to break it down into one silo being more than just one WRT site. The reason being, give me a 1, guys, if you remember last week when we talked about the linking structure, and a 2 if I should go revisit that, and we just take a look at that again for a second. I get a few 1s. I don't get any 2s. All right, so if you'll remember, the silo pages are going to link back to the WR1 sites, right? And so we're trying to determine, Jimmy and I have a test running right now to determine exactly how many links you can have from one site to another before Google starts to look at it all as being just one big link and then eventually over-optimization. But I don't have those numbers just right yet. So what we're doing is we're keeping it down to about 3 links just to make sure, right? So if you've got, let's say, 6 links, then you're probably going to want 2 or 6 categories underneath the silo. Then you're going to probably want 2 WR2 sites for that one silo. If you've got 9, you're probably going to want 3, so on, right? I would say a maximum of 5 links back from the WR2 site at this point. And beyond that, then you start to run into diminishing returns. So someplace between 3 and 5, I think, is going to be the magic number. So just because we have 3 sites here that mirror back to the WR1 does not mean that you're stuck to these 3 silos here on the site. You can make other related silos. Those silos don't have to link back to your WR1 site. That's going to make it look more natural. But just to keep this simple so that you can see what's going on, I've made this so that it's just the 3 silos on each side, the 3 categories on the WR1 translating to the 3 silos on the WR2. Kevin says, you see the WR2 silo, does that have a unique article? Yes. So you're going to have unique content on all 4 of these pages here. And then underneath the silos, we're going to use vKraken to generate some content. We'll go into the absolute specifics on how to do that next week. We're going to actually build the whole site in front of your eyes next week. But this week we're going to go through the drill of actually getting everything set up. Give me a 1 guy. Oh, go ahead, Matt.
I've got a demo that we can reference if they want to see the output. Just the only thing is we don't have that unique content on the silo landing pages, but we have got the stacked posts underneath already running.
Okay, cool. So give me a 1, guys, if you guys managed to chip away at any of your homework, and a 2 if I need to get out my whips. Mike's excused. That's okay. Kevin McCarthy both wants to be whipped and did his homework. I see. All right.
Yeah, we're going to have to. We're not going to be able to use that as a threat anymore. It's going to be a threat of not getting it.
Right?
Yeah, they're going rations.
Rations.
All right, very good. We don't have too many people who manage to do their homework, so this will be good. This is we'll go through all of the granularity and give you guys 1 more week to get everything pulled together. So the other thing that's not here yet, but will be by the time by later on this afternoon, is Russell's infamous videos on how to do a I'm not going to be able to remember the word now. Oh, how to do a ghetto banner, and you're going to need banners too. I mean, we talked about that very briefly last week, but going through those videos will show you exactly how to do them. They're from the PenVid course, but if you haven't taken the PenVid course, then you'll have the opportunity to get them here. All right.
Sue, can I ask everybody a quick question, or will that break your flow?
No, go for it.
You guys, how many of you in here already have a way of creating banners? Because some of you already have taken automatic video course. I mean, we should put it in here anyways. How many of you already have a way of creating banners that's different than mine that's working for you? Give me a 1. If not, and you use my method, give me a 2.
And if you don't do anything, give us a 3.
Yeah, great. That'd be great. If you've never made a banner, give me 3. Wow. Okay.
Okay.
Good. Okay, thanks. That really helps me feel better about not having to come up with new banner material for you in there. We'll put that in there as suggested.
All right, cool. So let's dive right in for a minute. Themes and keywords. That must have been the screen that I was already on. Wait. Let's try this one. TLKT. It's okay. The coffee is getting the bloodstream honest.
Okay. Good.
So I've gone through here. I've done a few screenshots so that you can follow what it is I'm doing. But rather than walk through this, I'm just going to do it live. But I'm going to actually probably use this as kind of a cheat sheet so that I don't get lost somewhere along the line. All right, so we're going to start with TLK2. And what I did in TLK2 last night is I drilled into all of my projects. So, you can just queue up all 3 of your silos. So actually, you know what? Let's do it this way. Let me... The magic of a big screen, right? Voila. Maybe drop that off the edge just a little bit. All right. So I want to actually come back to where I was. Themes and keywords, so that you can see where it is that I'm at and what it is that we're trying to accomplish. So we're trying to create a site that looks like this, that's based off of this one silo. So I didn't drill into hair services, which was my silo, right? We're just going to go create that by its one little keyword. Or actually, we don't need to create it at all because that's just the main theme of the site. So at the same time that we're doing this, let's bounce into DWS. So I'm going to use Pro just because it gives me a few more options. I'm going to create a new empire. And we're going to call this the Hair Salon Empire. And this is WR1, WR2, and WR3 rings for the hair salon market. And this is just a placeholder. You can put anything in there you want. If you know what your money site is, you might want to put that in there. All right, so I'm going to create my empire. Dun, dun, dun. And now we're going to add a new site. Now, the primary term here is going to be hair services. And I don't have a domain for it yet, so I'm just going to put wrtsite.com. You can tell that I've done this before, but that makes it easier for me to type now. My project name. So this is a WRT site for silo number 1. So I'm calling this, I called it last night, I called it silo number 1, but actually we could call it hair services silo. So let's do that. This just helps you keep straight, right? Hair services silo. Purpose, driving traffic to my money site. And now here's where it gets really cool. I got to put this in as a WR2, right? So everything else is backlink unit cost is pretty darn cheap. Say $10. We'll say $2 for my content because most of it's going to be auto-generated. And I want all of my keywords to come up, which is why I'm just kind of making these numbers really low. Yeah, that's fine. So I'm going to create the site profile there, and so now I'm going to put in my first keyword, right? So rather than, let's just look here at like hairstyles, I think is what I was playing with last night. So rather than like trying to import this whole long list of 83 keywords and doing the normal boogie that you do with the WR1, I'm just going to bebop over here to import data, and I'm going to import my silo keyword, hairstyles. And what I did was back here at TLKT, I applied a filter, which I don't think is
it shows in the column.
A default filter. And I applied a filter which was keyword is seed. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So if I say that, then I get just my seed keyword. And I can just pop these ideas in here without having to be too specific. Because again, I'm not building out a money site. It doesn't need the same kind of granularity. So I just took everything and multiplied it by 30, I think it was. Because this is all in monthly and everything in TLKT is in daily. But, you know, I just rounded it. Like, it wasn't even all that specific. Excuse me. More coffee. All right, so once it's added, I come back here, and it shows up. If it doesn't show up, you might have to check this and hit the submit button. The first time I did it, when I had my prices set a little bit higher, and my yeah, I think the prices were set higher, then this came up as a red flag, so it didn't show by default. So remember, you want to click this. What were you going to say, Matt?
I just wanted to make a mention there on the business rules and filters, but finish what you're doing, and I'll speak about it after. I want to explain just that one percentage that you done next to the guys.
Okay. So I want to make sure that I've got this clicked so that it knows where to throw it, and I'm going to check this, and I'm going to move it to the blueprint, and then it's going to show up as a silo. All right. So you want me to pop over here for a second?
Yeah. If you go down to the conversions, a bit lower down.
What's at the bottom?
We got the lead generation. That's the third one under your website. Guys, are you familiar with what that actual percentage means?
Give us a 1 if you know what it means, and a 2 if you don't. Silence. All right, we got some mixed, so go ahead and tell them.
Okay. Yeah, basically the way the funnel works, guys, is the first one, it's got 25%. That's the traffic that comes from the search. So when a guy does a search and they see the listings, we're saying that 25% of the people will potentially click on our link if we're in positions 1 to 3. Okay. The next one is when they hop across from Google to our landing page, we're saying that 1% will take an action on that actual page. The third one is when we're doing another hop, basically for affiliate sales or for lead generation, that's where we're saying 10% of the people will essentially take an action and go through our funnel. So that's what that third one is for. If you're not doing lead gen and you're doing a direct sale on your money site like on the WR1, then typically that percentage would be 100% just to cancel it out. But if you're doing lead gen and the leads are actually ending up in an office where people are finding the people back, typically what you'd ask the question is how many people out of 10 people would essentially convert, and that will give you a 10, 20, 30, 40 or 60% or whatever the number is. That's what that third column is for. I just wanted to make sure that you guys are aware of what that is, because if that number is low, the data set that comes back in the keyword decision screen is going to be low as well, and then you've got to sometimes check, turn the filters off just to see where the keywords are at. But that number does have an influence on the actual conversion rate and potential sales of that keyword.
Exactly. So just to clarify, what I'm saying is I'm going to have a 25% click-through rate from the SERPs onto my site. And I fully intend for that to happen because I'm going to be, I'll be ranked for a lot of keywords. I'll be ranked for a lot of long tails. I might not be ranked so much for my silo terms, but I'll be ranked for a bunch of keywords, so I will get a pretty good click-through rate. A 1% conversion which is actually going to be a lead gen. So what I'm saying is I'm expecting about 1% of the people to actually click through to my money site or to opt into my autoresponder that we're going to have on the site. And out of that, I expect about 10%. So in other words, once I actually get them into the funnel or get them on my site, I expect the conversion rate to be pretty good. So this I expect to be pretty low because people come to the site, but they're watching videos, or they're there for other reasons, or it's not a highly targeted site, right, specifically to the pains necessarily. So depending on what your market is, you might have a higher or possibly even a lower percentage rate there. I think 1 is actually as low a value as we can put in that, isn't it, Matt?
No, you can go down to like 0.3 decimals.
Okay.
So you can go
right, cool.
0.025 if you wanted to.
Okay.
So it's a quarter of a percent.
Okay, cool. All right, so back at the ranch. I'm back here. I got hairstyles. So now we need some keywords under the hairstyles. So if I come over here, let me just show you what happens with the different filters because over under this section that talks about TLKT, I recommend 3 different filters. So let's just run through them and I'll show you what the difference looks like. So the first one I think was highly relevant. Actually, that's the last one I want to do. Let's start with Matt's interesting keywords and apply that one. All right, so Matt's keywords brings us 31 out of 83. You can see everything in white is pure diverse, and everything in yellow is partially diverse. That means my original keyword was hair space styles. So you can see you've got like hairstyles, but it doesn't have the space in it, so it comes across as being a pure diverse keyword. So it's got some fun keywords, ponytails, grooming, products, but that's not really, and some cool ones, celebrity hairstyles. I think that would probably bring a lot of clicks on a PenVid. But that's not really the list that I'm looking for, so I'm going to try a different filter. So after Matt's, I'm going to try Jimmy's supporting keyword filter. We'll give that one a go. All right, so this is a pretty short list. And his is also designed for inbound links, which is what we're basically doing, going from the WR2 to the WR1. So possibly there's some things here, hairstyle ideas, we've got the celebrity stuff again, hairstyle pictures, that would probably be pretty good. Pictures of hairstyles, basically the same concept.
Best hairstyles?
Right? Not too bad, not too bad. So I'm going to go try the other one, which is highly relevant. And you're going to get radically different lists depending on your theme, right? So some of these, they're going to be really good one time, and the next time you're going to look for another one. So I'm just showing you how you can kind of take a look down and see what you want. So this gave me 33 out of 83. That's quite a long list. But when I look at it, I've got color in my hair, I've got the celebrity stuff again, I've got men's hairstyles, hairstyles for women, hairstyles 2015, celebrities again, pictures. I think this is the list that I would go with, and then probably not take everything, right? So there's a lot of stuff in here that I like. I don't really care for the black hair and the blonde hair. And I'm not going to go with things like styles, beauties, short, and cut. But there's some of these others that I think will make for a pretty good list. So I'm going to export that, save the file, come over here. I'm going to import. I'm going to do TLKT. I'm going to browse. I'm going to get this. I'm going to open that bad boy. Import the keywords. That's a decaffeinated drum roll. And here we go. All right, so now I can work this one in 2 different ways. Right. What I'll probably do is just click everything and then uncheck what I don't want. So short hairstyles isn't bad. Braids, beauties too, blonde hair, not all that. Style, cut. It's just, those are polysims, like when my head is the way that it is this morning, so that it's like firmly stuck in hairstyle mode. My initial impulse is, oh, that's okay, but if I think about it, you got car styles, everything's got a style to it, right? So that's not really going to work. Hairstyles for women, that's great. Short what? Hair color, that's possible. Black hair. Styles, again, too much. Hairstyle isn't that our hairstyles is our thingy-dingy. So I probably won't go with that as a subcategory. So the other thing that I want to watch, which if Mr. Kelley were on the phone with us, he would be saying, I've got hair services, I've got hairstyles. I definitely don't want to repeat hairstyles one more time in here. In fact, anything I can do to stay away from something with hair in it, like having braids and stuff like that, is probably a really good thing.
Quick question, Sue. Are you putting these as categories, or are they going to be silos?
Well, it's all going to be underneath this. Oh, you're telling me I got to click on that.
Yeah, before you do all that work.
Good catch. Good catch. All right, we'll do this again. Hairstyles, get rid of that. Hair, braids, beauty, blonde hair, style, cut, short, black hair, styles. Hairstyle, celebrity, men's, hairstyle ideas, pictures of hairstyles, hairstyles 2015, best hairstyles. All right, it's still a lot of hairstyles, but I kind of like it. So I'm going to move it all to the blueprint, and Bob's going to be your uncle. Ah! Why didn't it go?
It's still busy.
Is it?
Yeah, it's done.
Was it there? And I just missed it? Oh, you know, I forget to click the stupid more coffee.
Yeah, there's your categories there.
All right, yeah. I had to pop the folder open. All right, so that's the idea. So we do this 3 times, and we've got our site ready to go, right? So when you actually go to do this, I'm just trying to think about the easiest way to get from here to there.
Into the site? Are you going to import into the actual site, or what's your plan?
That's kind of what I'm thinking, because like, so there's
what you can do is you can export the blueprints, delete all the other columns, and then you just drag those categories underneath.
I think there might even be an easier way. So if I come here to, which one's my favorite screen?
That one there.
The one with the hammer?
Yeah.
All right. So I think if I export it as a spreadsheet, save as, and then
that's what I was doing.
Yeah, and then you just if I just open this, all right, this is a trick. Let's just do an automatic and see what happens. All right, so what I'm going to do here, in order to get this to import into Kraken, I'm just going to delete all of this, delete these rows. I'm going to delete this column, and then it should import just fine. All it's really looking for is to have the keywords right in the first column. And
you want to save it the silo keywords term.
Yeah.
Hair-salons.
So I'm going to save this as a CSV, and I want to save this as hairstyles.
Hairstyles, that's it, yeah.
Probably hair styles.
I was putting dashes, it worked as well. Oh, sorry, underscore. That's what I was using. And I
think
created the...
Does it make it with a space or does it make it with an underscore?
I've not tested it. I was using underscores, and it worked fine. So.
No, I think you got to use a space if you want it to have a space in it. If you want it to be all one word, then don't use a space. But I wouldn't use an underscore because it's going to make the category and the title then with an underscore, and that's a completely different word than a dash or a space. All right. Shall we go try it, guys? What do you mean I really need coffee? Kevin! I don't know what state my blog's in. I probably got to flatten it.
No, that's when you just make Kevin take over and do the rest of the training.
Right? There you go.
Coffee will avail you nothing.
Let me see what state my blog's in. I think I was testing with it last night. Yeah, I've got some stuff in there. Let me just flatten it really fast. Oh, sometimes this causes my blog to count. I'm on such terrible hosting. I'm not on Kevin's hosting. Oh, it might have done it. Oh, glory, hallelujah. All right. Yay. Okay, so down here at the video Kraken Ranch, I'm going to want to go delete all my queries. Just do that quick like a little bunny. And now I can come here and I can add new. There should be another drum roll. I'm going to import a CSV. I'm going to browse. Oops, locked. Let's close that. Hello, I said close. Document may contain formatting, blah, blah, blah. Just go away. All right. So at 11:35, where did it go? Oh, this is where it's trying to go. Let's make a new folder and say demo and hairstyles. Oh. Yeah, I do need coffee. All right, I will grant you now I do need coffee. This is the one that I just saved, 11:27, probably. Open, browse, update. How many hours? All right, so we don't want these to like go too often, so I'm going to say 100, humanize, have them be published. So like if 72 hours, 3 days, and that's going to be like 4 days each. So
one thing there, Sue, I want to inject before you start. On duration, where it's got any, what I've been doing in my testing, I've been using the second option if you just open the drop-down menu by duration. And I've been using 4 to 20 minutes. That just eliminates all those stupid, silly little videos that come in.
Are they stupid, silly little? Interesting.
Yeah, you know, guys make these little image videos that run for like 10 seconds and they try to get you to click on something. I found that those ones give us better quality videos.
Fascinating. All right. Cool. We'll do that. All right, so this doesn't look like it was my updated one because I probably saved it out to heaven only knows where. But you get the idea. If I'd pulled in the right one that I'd actually edited, then it would have worked the way that I wanted it to work. So let me just hit run so that I'm sure that we got something. Let's come over here and take a look. I should have hairstyles. Hairstyles 1 because that was the name of the file that I pulled in, right?
Yeah.
So All right. What sort of a server? Kevin asks. Because I only had like, let me just take a look. Let me come back here for a second. I had 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. I only had 10 keywords. So I'm going to have 10 keywords posting about twice a week. So that's like 20 posts a week. And you could make it less frequent than that. That's only one silo, so I probably would go more like 200 hours. And I would probably, yeah?
I was going to say VPS is probably the entry level at the minimum for these type of slow running sites.
Yeah, so it depends on what it is you want to do and how you want to do it. I would probably build my site out over the course of a week so that not all of my silos are going to hit on the same day, because I think that would look pretty funky. So I would say that depending on what it is that you want to do, right? So like if you've got a pretty good sized site and you're going to have maybe 2 WR2 sites for each silo, then let's say you've got 5 silos, so that's like 10 sites maybe, in 7 to 10 category. Then you could probably take all of them and stick them on one dedicated server and have some IPs on there. Let's bring Kevin live here in a minute and ask him if that's a configuration that he would be willing to do. And so you could stick them all on one server. You could have different IP addresses, and then you don't have to futz with 10 different VPSs. Otherwise, you probably want to get 10 different shared hosting accounts somewhere so that you've got diversified IPs and diversified footprints and yada, yada, yada. And I think those would be your 2 options that I would go with. So yeah, Kevin says one that works. Kurt says, do you want to look at how many videos you published? So there's another thing with the new version of vKraken. Down here in the settings, and we'll go a little bit more into what all the settings do and everything next week. But I have a maximum count post. When you install this, I think the default is 5. So it's either 5 or 10 or something like that, because we were having people trying to use this on shared hosting accounts, and they were just shooting themselves in the foot. So whatever it is that you have over here in queries, and however often they're supposed to run, and whatever it is that they're supposed to do, whatever is in this rules. So if this is set to 5, you're not going to get more than 5 posts a day. So what would happen is back here at queries, where I've got all of these set to run in about 4 days, it's going to come through here, and it's going to take basically the first 5, and it'll run those. And then the next time the set's supposed to run, it'll take the next 5, and then the next 5, and then the next 5. So you're not going to get all of these run on the same day. Now, if it's set to humanize, which is like 10 or 20% plus or minus, and I haven't gone in to check the logic since we rewrote it. My apologies on that. I'll get to it. We've got a couple of bugs we've got to work out of this plugin. But the last version, even so it was all set to humanize, the entire set would humanize at the same time. So let's say that it was 20%. So at 80 hours from now, that would be the randomization for that particular run, but it would try to run all of these at the 80-hour mark rather than saying, oh, let's run a couple at 80 hours and a couple at 90 hours and a couple at 100 hours. So hopefully we can get all of that sort of stuff fixed up in the next couple of weeks, and you should just be able to install over the top of this, and it should all be fine and right with the world. And yeah, go ahead, Matt.
Quick question there. On the last column, last run, could you maybe explain it to the guys? Because that could be a bit ambiguous for them.
Sure. So the first time that vKraken goes out and runs, it takes a look at how many videos it found for that particular keyword. So in this case, it found like a million, a half a million, a million. You know how Google is? They love to give back the same number. They do it in AdWords. They do it for videos. So here you can, when it does that, then you know that you can get about 1 million posts for this particular keyword. And so it's telling you that it's on its first of roughly 1 million posts. Now the cool thing about it is that once it actually gets through 1 million, there'll be more keywords, more videos out there than that. So, you know, if you've got a large number like a couple 100,000 and above, you know you're never going to run out of videos.
It's a cool feature though.
Yeah. So how many videos have I published? I probably...
You can see that under your posts.
Oh yeah, that's true. There's something there. Quite a few. Quite a few. Since this was set
nice
to
is that, yeah, it's been busy. What's nice is the URLs or the anchors are all different, which is quite nice when they actually get generated. So you get that diversity there.
Exactly. That's where, you know, if you don't have too many hairstyles, then you won't have hairstyles show up too many times. If you've got, if you pick a reasonable number of pure diverse and partial diverse keywords, then this will all come out okay, and it won't be, you won't be risking any kind of a panda thing. So, yeah, that's pretty much what we do. So we'll go into, next week we'll go into all of the details about how to build up the site. This was just to get you through your keywords and to get you a blueprint and to get from the blueprint into the basics of vKraken. The other thing, obviously, that you're going to want to have ready for next week as we actually build out the site is going to be the banner, and that's why we're going to get those ghetto banner videos over into this section.
All right. We're going to work with Shortcodes UI, and we're going to take you through all the plugins that we use to actually set up the sites nicely.
Exactly. So, you guys got questions? How different is this from the WR1 block? So it's radically different from the WR1 block. So check this out. I mean, first of all, you've got, this is just one silo that we've, or maybe a half a silo that we've put over here on the WR2 site. Obviously, today we only fleshed out the first of 3 silos. The WR1 site has got quality content everywhere. All of it's written with the idea that you're going to convert whoever it is that's landed on the page to actually purchase your product or service. Over here we're looking to create traffic. We want to have actual content on the silo landing page. This is going to go ahead, vKraken will go ahead and just put a video in here, but you're going to want to replace that video possibly with one of your own branded videos and with some of your own content. So think about the site. Like, you want to try to, let me just think about this for a second, how I want to express this. So We talked a little bit about personas already, and you want to be in that mindset when you're creating your content. Like, who is the person that's actually creating this site? Why are they passionate about the topics that you've picked to go into this site? So when I've got a bunch of categories in one silo and I'm splitting them off into two different sites, I start thinking about how it is that I'm going to approach the site. Like, why do I have somebody who wants to recommend my money site, right, either via banner or via the occasional link or whatever? Why do they want to recommend my site? Who are they? What are they doing? In this case, have they been to my salon? They really liked my salon. They took a few pictures. They went to the prom, or they got married, or they whatever, like whatever my silos are, right? And they're really into hair. They're into all the fun things of hair, and they've had a good experience in my salon, so they want to talk about my salon on a couple of the pages in their site. And mostly they just want to share really cool hair videos. So that's the idea behind this person. So you can, in certification we talk about how you can take those ideas and develop them out a whole other level. But for now, just like you just want to think about a coherent site. So you want to bring this together so that if somebody lands on it, they're interested in clicking around. It's got enough coherence that it's like, oh, let's go see what they're doing over here. Let's go see what they're doing over there. No, 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 no. So Mike asks, are we building PenVids on the WR2? So PenVid is a whole other style and a whole other kind of, it's a different mindset. It's more of a Pinterest type mindset. This is more of text and RSS. Now, I didn't really get into the RSS today because that's, we talked a little bit about it last week, and we'll get into that a lot next week. So what we're trying to do with these sites are twofold. I want to be able to get the social media off of the WR1 indexed, not just pinged, but actually indexed, so not just crawled, but indexed. So we use these sites for that, but we also want to drive traffic. So it's a twofer, right? And driving traffic, and we're getting our social stuff indexed. So this person, whoever it is that's creating this site, you're going to want to pick feeds, not just from the WR1 site. Obviously, they're fanatics for the WR1 site, but you also want to pick feeds from other non-competitive authority sources. So, you take a look at some of the big names in hair design and what it is that they're doing. You go find their YouTube feeds, you go find their blog feeds, and so that's where the more you get into that person, the more that you're aware of what it is that's the design behind the site, then the more you can actually craft the site so that it's more coherent. Cool. All right. Any other questions or anything for today? We could run through Matt's site really quick so that you got an idea of what it looks like when it's finished. It's a completely different theme, but it's good anyway.
Well, we could cover that next week, and I can just refine it even more.
Absolutely.
Because what I've done this for today was just to give the guys a quick preview of how we can use UI shortcodes and all that kind of stuff. So if we're going to do that whole session next week.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go into the back end. I was just going to show them the finished product on the front end.
Oh, right. Yeah, if you just go to Web Development UK, let me send you the link quick.
I think I got it.
Yeah, that's
my browser knows the way. So that's an idea of what one might look like. You got the Blogroll on the front page.
Yeah, I haven't turned that off yet.
That's cool. You can do it either way.
Yeah. So what I did on this one was I just mirrored the Network Empire news section where we were speaking about silos and not silos, plugins, and I've just rolled up the categories. So then with the URs, and if we elect RSS plugin, our shortcut UR will be all about the supercharger.
Cool.
Silo plugin, that UR will be for the banner reading to the simple download, so we can build a list. Social plugins, social explosion, video plugin, vKraken, vSilo, and then WordPress plugin is just broad, so we can just suck in more traffic. So that's the concepts and ideas that we've done here.
Okay. And we
One
still
thing
need to get the RSS feeds up on here because I don't think we got anything moving through the social explosion account or through the social accounts yet.
Not yet. I'm just waiting for that to come still. But the thing what you must do, guys, when you do this, don't use your name when you set up the blog. I noticed when I built this one, I just used Matt the Cruz as when I set it up. We want to use probably the persona's name that we're going to create.
Exactly.
So that there's no footprints from me running back because of us doing videos, our videos do appear in the actual there's some themes in ones, there's Network Empire videos popping in, and there's me demonstrating how to use the Solar plugin. So that is a bit of a giveaway.
Good point. So maybe back here on themes and keywords using TLKT. I might just pop that down at the bottom. All right, it's being slow. I'll pop that in at the bottom, and I'll also pop in the instructions down here in the bottom on how to edit that the spreadsheet so that you can slurp it into vKraken without issue.
I'll actually just create a little export for the guys too. It's super easy to do that.
An export of what?
For vKraken, so they can just basically click a button and we'll split that silo with the categories named, so there's no editing. And I have it ready for next week.
Oh, that would be super. So you just like, oh, that's awesome. So that you just have it like here under something.
I'll put it under the website. Manage? Yeah, that's one there. Because over there we've got 3 types of XMLs we can export, so we can just connect the vKraken one in, and it will just spit out the whole blueprint for them.
Oh, that would be excellent. It can't be the whole blueprint. It's going to have to be a file at a time.
Yeah, I'll have to just create a page so they can do it one file at a time.
Okay. All right, sweet.
Because then I was looking at it today and I thought, okay, this is a pain in the ass having to edit.
It is. All right, good.
So we can just do that, and I'll just map that across. But yeah, that's the one thing, guys. When you set up your sites, just make sure that you use a random name for the publisher of the actual content. Because if you look at the web dev, there is a potential that in the post sections, my names will pop up posted by.
Oh, you can also, if that's what you're meaning, is it here, under Video Kraken, under Add New, when you come down here to add, you can pick the author. So you would want to pick, I always add another author, and I use that author to be the person that I slurp it in by.
Yeah, that's what I just had one set up today, but I was thinking about security when I was looking at the end result and the whole cleanup. But I built that whole site, that web dev site today. It took me literally, I would say, when I started pulling them together, I spent maybe 2 hours and I had the whole site mapped out. Another thing I was doing as well, guys, was with the post frequency, I was giving random post frequency. So I had a band of 100 to 200, and I was for each silo I was selecting a different band. So if I figured the silo would drive more traffic, I would lower the post frequency. And if it was a pretty slow one where there's not much videos, then I'd also fiddle with the frequency. So whatever was important to me, I would adjust the frequency to get more content flowing in that area, so I could get probably more exposure on that actual banner section. So that's another thing I was thinking about when I was building the site out today.
Interesting. I tend to not put that much thought into it right up front, and I come back and look at analytics after about 60 days, and I tweak it a little bit then. And
do you just go and edit the actual post frequency just so the guys can see us do that?
Yeah, we just go into all queries, and what you have to do, you can come in here to edit. You can also delete anything there. So like if you end up importing something you don't like, if it's making crazy videos, you can just go in there and delete it. So the first thing you have to do, if you're going to edit it, the first thing you have to do is stop it. And that's just because you got to take it out of the queue. And then you can change whatever it is that you want to change. So I can change this to like 200 or whatever it is that I want it to be. And then when I'm done, I hit the start button again. And so that'll save it and start it up again.
So guys, just to reiterate, the WR2 is all about traffic. Okay, we speak about this in Tech 2. We go into a lot of traffic. We speak about the methods. We talk about all those things. In this session here, we actually looking at the building of the site and how we can automate it. But remember, it's quality content, and I would suggest that you do go look at your site when it starts building posts. And if there's things that are like they're videos coming in that are not of the language that you're after, just probably remove them, because those are potentially not going to be the clients that you're after.
So also let me just scope out here for a minute and talk for a moment about, right, tequila?
Pizza for
breakfast?
breakfast?
Talk about the WR2 site for a second, because so the two things that you're trying to accomplish with the WR2 site is you want to make sure that everything on the WRS1 gets indexed, and you want to drive traffic. This will drive traffic to the WRS1 too, inadvertently, but mostly you're looking to drive traffic into the money site. You want to get them as tight into the funnel as you possibly can. So as we scope out, we're always looking to bring, you can envision this as being like the black hole that you want to suck all the traffic in the internet into, right? Or at least all your traffic into. So as they come out here into the edges of your funnel, you want to suck them further down in, and you want to get them onto the money site as quick as you possibly can and get that conversion rocking and rolling. But sometimes they'll come in through a way that's going to build more trust. So I'm also looking to instill trust. I don't want to like just suck you in and sell you something. I want to build trust. I want you to understand why my product is going to solve your pain the best. So when you're creating that content for those static pages, you want to think about the person, why it is that they're building the site. You want to think about why it is that they're interested in endorsing you. And then come back here for a second. Oh, come back here. Here it is. So then here on my hair color site, or on my hair color page, I'm going to link back here to the color page under hair services on my WR1 site, right? So I'm going to have a contextual link that goes from here to here. So you want to think about, why am I going to have a contextual link that goes back there? Like, you want to make it...
What's the story you're going to tell?
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. What's the story?
Yeah, maybe
about?
if we look at the web dev, that might be a bit more easier to understand, so because it's the industry we're dealing in. And we can look at like the landing page of this is say the SEO plugin or the Silo plugin.
Okay.
That's an easy way to explain what you're trying to express here, because at the moment it's got a video stuffed in there, but essentially we want to express, as an example on the Silo landing page, we can talk about the simple Silo plugin, we can talk about how we use it, we can talk about DWS and how it makes your production really faster, we can speak about the Kraken, how we use that to actually build out our sites in an automated fashion. Each silo there has a theme, and we can link it back to the actual source where people can get that plugin or that information. So as a web developer, when I speak about Silo plugins, I can have a nice conversation about Silo architecture and how it helps and how I've improved my business for my clients. I can make up any story I want over here as a third-party person, if that makes sense.
So the way that I send the traffic from the WR2s to the WR1s is predominantly through the banners. Yes, there are contextual links. The contextual links are going to mostly drive the domain authority and the page authority from the WR2s to the WR1s, which help the WR1s rank. But most of the traffic is going to come through the under video banners, which we don't have up here yet, but we stick on the PenVids. We've done a lot of research on the PenVids, and right underneath the banner, or right underneath the video, is the place where everybody looks. So if you have an engaging banner that talks about solving the pain, then you'll get clicks. You will get clicks. All right. So we just need to, Welton asks, we just need to change the post author to change the avatar with private who is. Yeah, that should be enough. Also, like when we do the persona, we create a Google account, so that'll have a Gmail associated with it. And I use that Gmail account when I'm setting up the blog too. I usually do a forward from my Gmail account to my personal account, and I know that. So like, I just don't get that paranoid about it because I'm not really trying to. All of my banners are going to be no follows, so I'm never that paranoid about my WRT sites being found out to be an actual web ring. So somebody might report me. I think that would be the biggest threat, but I don't have a problem like going into Gmail and telling it to forward over to my personal mail account, just so that I can keep an eye on whatever the blog is doing. But for when we do blog rings and stuff for other people, what we do is we have one Gmail account, which is the master Gmail account for the entire project, and we set up everything to forward to that one Gmail account. So they can log into that one Gmail account and see anything that they need to see for the entire market. Mike asks, do we semantically add block for banners here too? Yeah, it would be a good idea. I tell you, I don't, I'm not as fussed about it because I want a bunch of different themes. So 3 a.m., that's got no bearing on anything, Mike. I want a bunch of different themes, so I'm not so worried about what the semantic markup is on those themes because I'm trying to like make it visually a different footprint. I don't want my competitors to go around to the different inbound links because they will be able to track back the do follow links pretty easily unless you use Spider Spanker or something like that, which I'm just not inclined to do. So I don't want my competitors to see any kind of a footprint if they go looking at where my inbound links come from. Wilton says, is it safe to forward your normal Gmail account or should you use Hotmail or Yahoo account? Okay, good. I answered that. All right. Any other questions, guys? We're at the top of the hour. I can let you go a little bit early today, and you guys can get cracking on your homework, because the whips will come out next week. So by next week, the thing that you really need to have done is you need in DWS you need your WR2 site. At least get one silo built out in your WR2 site. Like you can see, it takes less than an hour to do that. So if you have that ready to rock and roll and you have your banner, you're in good shape. In a perfect world, you'll have the content, you'll have your domain bot, and you'll be ready to rock and roll. And for those of you who are ahead of the game and did everything I told you to do last week, you'll get brownie points and a star. All right. I think that's it then.
All right, you guys. It's been great. Thanks a lot. We are, as you can kind of tell, we're ramping up for that next week. I'm really excited about as well. And thank you so much, Sue, for managing to being up all night and getting on this. Also, Matt, thanks a lot for joining us. And
no worries. It was always a pleasure.
Yeah, we will see you next time at, I don't understand that, Mike. I'm not sick.
Same bat time, same. Yeah, I think it's because you're using your laptop mic. You sound a little bit different and a little bit more nasal.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not sick at all. I actually am at the condo and forgot my headset, so I'm going through the laptop. Mike's like, oh. All right, we'll see you next week, same time. And there's a few of you who are in Tech Foundation 1, so you don't get away with anything so easily. We will see you tomorrow. Yeah. Tech Foundation 1, Welton, and Mike, and everyone else. All right, we'll see you guys on the inside. Bye-bye.
All right, thanks, guys.
Cheers, boss.